Hello, Orlando here. How are you doing? How are you doing there? Now, tonight we're going to talk about this scenario. You're a furry, right? Right? You've been in the furry fandom for a while now, and you're having a great time. You've made some friends. You've been to a few meets and even a con. And you've decided the time has now come. You're going to have that fursuit. You're going to have to buy yourself your first fursuit. What sort of fursuit are you going to buy? That is the million-dollar question. And tonight we're going to discuss the two main types of suits that we see. We're going to discuss partial fursuits against full suits. Which should you go for? Which kind of fursuit should you be buying? And there's both kinds of suits have got some distinct pros and cons. So we'll go with them both. We'll start by talking about a partial fursuit like this guy here. I've got a friend Orlando. And then we might even put the full suit on for a bit of a deer dragging around. How does that sound? Okay. The first thing I'd say for your first fursuit, there's obviously going to be cost involved. Now, one of the advantages about a partial suit like this, which is actually a mini partial suit, we've got head, hand, paws, and tail. I haven't actually got my tail on at the moment, but a mini partial suit is probably the most popular entry level suit that people go for. The biggest advantage of that, or one of the biggest advantages, is cost. A mini partial suit is going to be a lot less expensive than a full suit. A lot less expensive. But the other thing you will appreciate very quickly with a partial suit is convenience. There's a lot of convenience involved. First thing to say about the partial suit is you don't need any additional protective clothing, or at least not very much. The only thing that I would recommend to buy is a balaclava. These are about a few dollars. That's the only extra clothing you need, and apart from that, you can wear your normal clothes just like I'm doing here. The suit is much easier to suit up and suit down than a full suit. You can literally put this guy on in about 30 seconds. And yeah, he looks good. When worn with the right clothing, he looks very good. The good thing about this suit is it's not too much of an inconvenience to wear. Provided you've got a suit that's got good forward vision in the eyes, so probably wouldn't recommend a realistic suit as your first. Provided you've got good forward vision, it shouldn't be too much difficulty to wear. You'll find that a suit like this will be relatively easy to wear in hot weather, where you're going to get roasted in a full suit. With a partial suit, you're going to survive more easily. Okay. And basically, less heat problems and easier to put on, and less physically demanding to wear. Plus, it doesn't really have anything on your lower limbs, so it doesn't really affect your mobility too much, provided you can cope with the reduced vision, which is the same with all suits. There's a couple of other things that might be considerations as well. First thing is, this is considerably easier to look after than a full suit. Obviously, the head like this will not go in the washing machine. It's got to be hand washed, but you can spot wash him anyway, whether you've got a full suit or a partial suit. You have the same. You can hand wash the paws, but when you get a big suit like my bodysuit over there, that's not going to go in the washing machine. That's going to go in the bathtub, and then it's going to require a lot of drying as well. I'm going to put a fan in to dry it. So basically, there's a lot of more care involved in looking after a full suit. The partial suit is much easier on you. And the other thing that's consideration that people don't really think about is transport. Yep, this is a fairly small package. You can put your paws and your tail inside your head. Provided you've got a bag big enough for your head, that's all you need. When you start getting the full suit out, you need to start bringing the big cases out and things like this. And even then, I'm not sure I can put my full suit in the one case. But yeah, so transport is an issue as well. So, and as I said, the partial suits can still look absolutely great. Just don't do what I'm doing tonight, guys. I'm doing this because it's quite warm around here. But yeah, dress to impress. Put a suit on, or a shirt and tie, or some interesting clothing, and you can certainly talk your partial suit up into looking $1 million. I would say, don't sweat the big stuff. The the bit you want to worry about is this, the fursuit head. Everything else is optional. As I say, you can buy your paws and tail aftermarket if you wish. You just need to get that right fursuit head, and you're on the pathway. You're on the run home, so to speak. Okay, so that's the partial suit. This is the popular, most common option, I would say. Let's move on. Let's talk about the full suit next. What's it like to wear a full suit? Okay, you have to give me a minute here to go and get changed, guys. Well, there we are. Transformation is complete. We now have a full suit on. And it's taken me, I would say, at least 10 minutes to put that suit on. At least 10 minutes of work. And to be honest with you, I wish I had a handler actually. It'd be much easier with a handler. But there we are. We're in a full suit. It's hot. It's hot in here already. I can feel that it's very hot in here. But the bottom line, why would you wear a full suit? And the answer to that's very simple. Stand up and look in the mirror. You're a large, fluffy animal. From one end to another, there's no sign of any human in there. It's just a large, fluffy creature doing what large, fluffy creatures do. The advantages of the full suit, there basically is that. It is the full experience. You get the full shooting match. The whole works with this animal like this. Yep, you just get the whole shooting match. There's a few things that are particularly good for full suits. First of all, photos. It's almost impossible not to look good in a photo wearing this gear. It's almost impossible to look bad. If you like hugs, you're a hugging sort of fursuiter, then you get the best hugs with a full suit on, definitely. No shadow of doubt about that. And then the other thing you can do, of course, aim for a belly rub. Can't do this really with a partial suit. Plus it does give you plenty more options on things like wearing harnesses and wearing costume over the top of your full suit. But yep, it's just so much fun. This is just the full fursuit experience. Again, I haven't put my tail on. I'm lazy, I haven't put my tail on. Kind of sit down without falling down. Yep, you'll notice it's much more immersive in terms of its ability to impact you to walk. You can't walk as well with the digi suit on. And if you're the sort of fursuiter who enjoys dancing and things like this, you might even go for the plantigrade option. It's a little bit cheaper rather than the big thighs. You only get normal sized trouser like legs. And it just makes life a little bit easier for mobility. At the end of the day, you don't wear a full suit for convenience. You wear a full suit for the experience. This is the full fursuit experience. The DigiGrade full suit is where it's at if you're serious. Personally, I'm extremely glad I spent a few months wearing a partial suit first. I think it's given me a lot of insight into what wearing a fursuit is like. I've got comfortable and confident wearing a partial suit. Now we can step up to this bad boy and see what you think of this, guys. But anyway, my advice is very simple actually. If you're a brand new fursuiter, you never worn a fursuit before or only very rarely worn a fursuit, a full suit is just going to be too much to cope with at once. Go partial. Nice fursuit head, some hand paws and a tail if you wish. Make yourself some arm sleeves. Start with the basics. Once you can wear the basics and wear them comfortably and wear them happily, then you can go for the full shooting match. Go straight to the plantigrade. Yep, and you commissioned the bodysuit separately. So it didn't break the bank in this case. And I'm so happy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me once again wearing this magnificent bit of furry gear. It really is just wearing a full suit is just such an experience. Until you've done it, you've got no idea. Anyway, until next time on the channel, we'll see you again very soon. I'll try not to fall over anything. And yeah, you have a great week. Okay, bye then, saying bye-bye. You have a good night, guys. Look at my ears for you. Look at my ears for you. Okay, I'll catch up with you very soon. Bye.